The Green Bay Packers aren't shying away from their interest in bringing in quarterback Kirk Cousins. Also, the Los Angeles Rams confirmed they tried to trade Davante Adams. Could a reunion with the Packers still be on the table? And one of college football's best pass rushers is making a visit to Green Bay. He could be just what this defense needs. I'm Jakob Brandenburg, and this is... Green Bay may have an answer to its backup quarterback problem, Kirk Cousins. And before you roll your eyes, you're going to want to hear what team leaders have to say about it. Before we start, I want to thank you for clicking on the video and welcome to the channel. This is Go Pack Show, a relatively new Green Bay Packers channel for news, updates, and other information. We do these shows multiple times per week and are fast growing, which is exciting to see. You can help us out by liking these videos, sharing them with your other Packers fans and friends, and subscribing to the channel. That'll help you too, because then you'll be notified anytime a new video hits that feed right when it does. The Green Bay Packers could be signing Kirk Cousins. The 37-year-old quarterback was officially released by the Atlanta Falcons a few weeks ago and now has interest from teams around the league to come in as a veteran backup. At the league meetings this week, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst was asked straight up, has the team discussed bringing in Kirk Cousins? This is what he said.
Yeah, we discussed a lot of those options. Obviously, that's a guy who's got a lot of pelts on the wall in this league, and certainly, so we've certainly discussed all those kind of things and kind of see where it goes.
That's about to as close as confirmation as you're gonna get. Also, Matt LaFleur was Kirk Cousins' quarterback coach for 2 years while they were together in Washington, so there's already at least some relationship and familiarity there. Backup QB is a question mark for the Packers after Malik Willis was sensational in that role, so good in fact that the Dolphins think they can build a whole offense around him. Green Bay currently has 3 QBs, Jordan Love obviously, and then the QB that Cousins replaced in Atlanta, Desmond Ridder, as well as former Ohio State and Syracuse quarterback Kyle McCord, who was an Eagles 6th round pick last year and has yet to see any NFL action. Despite Ridder and McCord being on the roster, it seems that Goody would rather find help elsewhere.
It's certainly a possibility because we're very high on both those guys, but at the same time, if we have an opportunity to add to that room, we certainly will look at it.
Now, I could see the Desmond Ridder thing working out. His skill set's sort of a blend of Jordan Love and Malik Willis. Not quite the runner Malik Willis is, not quite the thrower of Love, but somewhere in between. And he's another guy, kind of like Willis, who was a high pick for somebody else who thought they were getting a franchise QB, come to Green Bay, get rehabbed with Matt LaFleur, and then maybe he actually surprises some people. But the Cousins move makes more sense. I mentioned he and LaFleur have worked together before. He's born in Illinois, played high school and college in Michigan, and of course had great years in Minnesota. He's now just missing Wisconsin to complete this sort of life journey around the Midwest. Ignore the chains and the "you like that." He would fit with Green Bay culture. And while Kirk Cousins is no longer a full-time starter in the NFL, he could come in and win a game or two if the Packers needed him. Another team interested in Cousins as their backup quarterback is the Los Angeles Rams, which brings me to our next piece of news. Sean McVay confirmed this week that the Rams tried to trade Davante Adams this offseason. McVay says that after hearing offers, the Rams decided to keep Davante Adams, but it does make you wonder, did Green Bay try to get in on this reunion, and who's to say that those talks can't be restarted? I think Packers fans would love to see Davante return to Green Bay. He made 5 Pro Bowls as a Packer and established himself as maybe the best receiver in the NFL. And he's even remained productive through some weird years with the Raiders and the Jets, and even led the NFL in touchdown catches last season with the Rams. Adams will be 34 in December, but is still clearly one of the best in the world at what he does. I already told you this week that teams are trying to trade for Dontavian Wicks. Maybe you get what you can for him, and instead of drafting someone else to take his place, what if you put Davante Adams in that spot through some sort of trade and see what he can do alongside Jordan Love and this young group of receivers? Everybody likes to speculate about what's going to happen with the NFL draft, who your team might take. The Green Bay Packers do not have a first-round pick this year. That was part of the Micah Parsons trade, so we do have to wait a little longer. That's a little less fun to think about what you're going to do at number 52, but here's something that might get you excited. The Packers reportedly have a top 30 visit with Texas Tech defensive end Romello Height. As the name Top 30 Visit would suggest, teams get 30 of these visits to bring in their favorite prospects, so you wouldn't want to waste one on somebody that you're not actually interested in. Height is coming off a stellar year with 10 sacks and 11.5 tackles for a loss, playing opposite of potential top 5 pick David Bailey. Height and Bailey were part of a devastating defense that led Texas Tech all the way to the college football playoff. Height's listed height is 6'3", and he did bulk up to 239 pounds for the NFL Combine. Now, technically, he is still undersized for the NFL, but I see Height being able to play 3-4 outside linebacker, especially in this new Jonathan Gannon defense. At the very least, he could start out as a pass rush specialist and get after the quarterback. He does that extremely well, and that makes for a tantalizing possibility. What if you had Height on one side and a healthy Micah Parsons on the other? Height's draft projection seems to fall right between the Packers' first 2 picks. Taking him at number 52 overall might be a reach, and waiting until number 84 will probably be too late. We'll see if there's any maneuvering to try and grab him, because I do really like this fit. Former Packers defensive coordinator and new Miami Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley knows he's going to be returning to Green Bay at some point this season for a game. He says that he hopes that game is Week 1.
A lot of reasons. There's a couple that I can think of. One of my favorite guys might not be ready to play by then. Micah, I hope you're ready to play Week 1. I really do. And knowing Micah, he'll probably be ready to play Week 1.
You still holding to that sack record for Micah?
Definitely. Yeah, I just don't have to be the one that someone else has got to hold to it, though. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if you did.
If you couldn't tell, he's talking about Micah Parsons, who is expected to miss the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Hafley has also predicted that a healthy Parsons will break the NFL record for sacks in a season. As you heard there, he is sticking to it. If you're curious, the official NFL schedule will be released sometime around May 13th, and we'll find out if, in fact, the Packers do host the Miami Dolphins in Week 1. People have begun calling the Dolphins Green Bay South because of Jeff Hafley and, as I've mentioned before, Malik Willis taking on huge roles for that franchise. And that is a few weeks away, but of course we'll cover the schedule release here on Go Pack Show as well. Reminder to subscribe to the channel so you get notified anytime there's new Packers news, rumors, or other updates. Also, go into the comments. Let us know what you think about adding Kirk Cousins, maybe trading to bring back Davante Adams, or any of the other things discussed in this show or my others. Go check out some of the other videos on the channels if you haven't had a chance to look at those yet. And of course, we'll be your primary source for all things Green Bay Packers.